Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. I've not filmed anything for a while, basically because I've still not been feeling great. So I've only really got down here to water, done a little bit of weeding in the polytunnels, but not much else. I've kind of moved things around the plot a little bit and transferred, as you can see, that first plant, the Brugmansia inoxia, I think that's what it is, down to outside, just to make sure that it's getting plenty of water, and hopefully that little bit of movement in the wind should hopefully strengthen the stems up a bit as well. So that's the plan anyway. Plus I didn't want these flowers inside the polytunnel when they are actually giving off this amazing scent. It smells fantastic, but it's hallucinogenic, so I didn't really want to have that in the polytunnel, especially in the hot weather, because that hot weather and these plants is probably, I don't know, it's a recipe for disaster really. Right, let me show you what I'm going to do tonight. It's something I should have done probably about a week ago, at least started about a week ago, but we'll see how it goes today. Right, we'll walk you up to the where the pumpkin patch is and where my blackberries are. Okay, let's switch you around. Okay, so this is the pumpkin patch. Needs a bit of weeding still. This has always been an area that has been kind of taken over a little bit by the bindweed, and it's also been one of those things that I need to probably give a bit of feed to as well. The Narangilla is doing really well still. I'm not sure I'm going to get much in the way of slugs on here, but there we go. They'll still give it a go. I'm not sure they're going to get anything of purchase on this particular plant, but yeah, they still try. Right, and then the other things that we've got growing here is the ricin plant. So this is castor bean plant. There's about 5 or 6 plants in there. Again, doing really well. That little bit of rain we've had has done them well. And the kind of the smaller squashes, again, a bit of weeding needed. That bindweed again is growing through. If you could eat bindweed, it'd be fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be very tasty. If anything, it'll probably be poisonous. There's some members of that family, the morning glory family, that are toxic. Morning glory in itself is something that can give you a high, but again is really quite poisonous. So right, let's show you what we're going to harvest today. So these absolutely fantastic blackberries. So I'm planning on making some blackberry jam this weekend. It's one of the fruits that does really well on this plot. This was a plant given to me by the chairman at the time, basically because you see the branches here, completely thornless, and that's really what you want from a blackberry. Nothing worse than growing a blackberry with thorns and then having to contend with those thorns when you're trying to harvest. So the plan today is to try and get as many of these berries as I can. To make probably about 8 pots of jam, I'm going to need probably around 1.8 kilograms of these berries. They're going to harvest really easily, I think. There we go. They just come off in your hand. I've got plenty that have kind of dropped to the floor as well. So it could be that I end up with a few more plants. But I'm planning on layering some of these vines as they come off now. So these vines here, if they were to hit the ground, they would basically root. So if we stick that end into the ground, it's going to grow roots. So one of the things I'm going to try and do is get a few more plants so I can plant them at the other end and replace those awful grapes that don't seem to be doing very well. I think there's going to be plenty of grapes on them again this year, but they never stay nice. They always go a bit mealy. I think it's probably because they are quite old now. I'm not sure of vines or grapevines or something you need to replace, but I think I might do. Right, as you can see here, these particular berries, they're absolutely laden. So I don't think I'm going to have much in the way of an issue getting a couple of kilograms of these off this plant. So this is just literally one plant. So I'll set you up on the tripod and then see how long it takes me to get what I need. Okay. Okay, that's taken me about, I don't know, 25 minutes, half an hour. And you've noticed that, let's see if I can get where the sun is. There we go. It looks like I've done a murder. But soft fruit will always do this to you. Red currants, black currants, all those sort of things will always do this to you. The worst with a lot is mulberry, the tree that we've got. But yeah, it's part of the fun in doing it, I guess. Makes you look like a bit of a murderer. Right, let me show you what I've got harvested today. So yeah, 25 minutes, half an hour or so, that's all I've done today. There is still some stuff on the, there's still some berries on the actual plant, so I might be able to come back to it. There's still some red ones as well, which will ripen, so we'll come back to those as well. Right, okay, so that's my 2 punnets of absolutely ginormous blackberries that I've picked today. There will be a certain amount of things like bugs and stuff like that that will probably have ended up in there as well. I have fished out at least one caterpillar whilst harvesting these, but bit of a wash before we start making the jam. They should be fine. I think there must be at least 2 kilograms. I'll weigh them when I get back home, and I'll let you know how many there are. Again, just to point out here, the way that these particular blackberries and to an extent brambles and some of the other soft fruit vines like tayberries, loganberries grow, you end up with the fruit growing on the previous year's vines. So these ones here have all grown on last year's vines. So the new vines they put out, which will be this one, and then there's a couple here. So these ones here, they look quite robust, quite big vines. So I don't want to be breaking them if I can. So these are the ones we're going to tie in for next year. And then the fruit will actually grow off these particular vines. So the previous year is all of the is all of these ones. So yeah, plenty of fruit on it this year, and I think we'll probably have the same again next year. It's always going to be quite a good harvest off this particular plant. But when you come to cut it back, so once it's finished fruiting, the old vines can be actually cut out. So you can chop them out literally as low down as you can. And then you just tie in those new vines ready for next year. Again, it's something to do in the kind of early autumn, just before the summer dormancy period kind of starts. Right. So that's one of my first decent harvests for this year. I've got courgettes, I've got beans, I've got all those sort of things as well growing. But this is the first one where I've almost stripped the entire plant. There are berries still on there, so we will come back and grab the rest. But yeah, first decent harvest, and we're going to make these particular berries into some jam. Might even mix them up with some of the tay berries and the logan berries, and see if we can make a kind of mixed berry jam. Just going to have a quick look at the mulberry, see if there's anything on this particular plant. Oh, there we go. Okay, so your mulberries are these, oh, again, soft fruit, and they really do come off in your hand quite quickly. This is a black mulberry, so the fruit on this one will be black. There we go, there's another one. So they're weird looking things. They look a little bit like the blackberries. The actual berries themselves are a little bit bigger in terms of the actual compartments of the berry, and these really do make your hands turn bright red when you're harvesting them. So that's again another job for this weekend. I think I need to harvest as many of these mulberries as I can off this before they end up rotting, unfortunately. Right, so that's my blackberry harvest for today. I say we'll get back to you with another video soon. I've got my St. Patrick's Day potatoes to harvest. That's going to be another video potato reveal coming up. I know some people are quite keen on seeing what happens with potato reveals and things like that, so we'll see how it goes. 4 different varieties, so I might harvest all 4. I don't know. We'll figure that out this weekend. Right, so until the next video, we'll see you for today. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.